because Ashraf al-Qudra, the spokesperson for the Palestinian Health Ministry, is speaking. Let's listen in.
Ambulances and displaced innocent civilians on purpose in order to transfer them to the south. The Israeli occupation forces violations against the health sector resulted in the killing of 238 of the medical teams and the destruction of 56 ambulance vehicles. The Israeli occupation forces also totally destroyed 56 medical facilities, 20 hospitals are totally out of service, and 186 primitive care facilities are out of operation. As we speak, the Israeli occupation forces are still detaining 35 medical teams, chiefly the Director General of the al-Shifa medical complex, Dr. Mohammed Abu Salmiya, under very harsh conditions, including physical abuse, torture, and starvation. Speaking of the health condition, as the Israeli belligerent, ferocious war on Gaza continues, we are left helpless in the face of the rising numbers of victims. The medical crews all across Gaza hospitals are no longer capable of accommodating the large number of victims, namely those with severe burns, severance of limbs, as a result of use of internationally banned weapons by the Israeli occupation forces. All hospitals are packed with victims. Victims are lying on the corridors, on the ground, and amid total absence of electricity, medical supplies, and medical equipment. More than 1.5 million displaced persons in the refugee centers and sheltering camps, including pregnant women and children, are reeling under slow death. As a result, the Health Ministry reiterates, we call on the League of Arab States, the Organization of Islamic Conference, and free men worldwide to quickly and swiftly act to put an end the belligerence and genocide against Gaza and the Gazans, and call on the UN to put into effect the Geneva Fourth Convention and other international treaty providing protection to hospitals and medical facilities, incriminating shelling by the Israeli occupation forces. We call on the stakeholders to provide a safe humanitarian corridor whereby fuel, medical supplies, and food enter and victims exit. We also call for full-fledged makeshift hospitals to reach all parts of Gaza Strip without exception. We also appeal to the world and medical syndicates to provide volunteer medical teams to lend a helping hand to us here in Gaza. We also call on the UN and WHO to genuinely act in order to pressurize the Israeli occupation forces to release the medical crew members. We also call on the UN and its humanitarian organs to swiftly act to prevent the health and humanitarian crisis under which more than 1.5 million displaced civilians are reeling. May God accept in His mercy the fallen martyr, grant speed recovery to the wounded, and Gaza will live on. Thank you.
Well, you've been hearing from the spokesperson for the Palestinian Health Ministry in Gaza. That was Dr. Ashraf al-Qudra. Now, they give regular updates on what can only be described as the worsening state of the health system, which has almost entirely collapsed in Gaza, with hospitals not even close to being able to provide the care the patients and that the injured need in the Gaza Strip. He was also calling on help from the international community to end the violence in Gaza.